Our live recording doesn't record audio.
It doesn't?
Yes. Yeah.
Records video, audio, angles, distance, everything. That's just some paper hanging up on something. What it's hanging up on, I don't know.
Glue, I'm guessing.
Would be my guess. Left turn. Like NASCAR.
Fast roll it.
Glue or something there.
Oh yeah. So you guessing go turn the water on?
No,
Or you want to push out first?
I'm gonna push out.
Okay.
Kill all my visibility, I might as well go up.
How do you want water pressure here? Should be able to.
Yeah, but it messes with the visibility too, because it'll be overtaking the camera head some. You just get all that turbulent water around it, it's hard to see sometimes. There's more pieces. There's city connection. There's a little dot. There's a whole bunch in the bottom of there from this one.
Plug it in, see if you can see.
That's what I was trying to do, but it was turning too much hitting the other side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pushed a bunch out.
Yes, we did. See what the.
There's the poo and paper.
Yep.
A little pile of ground right in front of the sewer.
Yep. Well, we definitely know what the clog was.
There's all that gravel.
Water time?
Yep. You see all that gravel sitting
Yeah,
there?
yeah. So then everything just starts hanging up and hanging
You
up
see
and
all the
hanging
paper
up.
mixed with the
Yeah,
gravel
and it
too.
just hangs up and then all of a sudden she makes a dam.
Pretty much, and that's why the bag was struggling to get it open. Yeah, but I mean, look at that pile.
Yeah.
The hose is next to you.
I know, but somehow.
Go ahead.
I can do it wrong today.
We're gonna go back to 45 and see if that stuff moves with the amount of water flow we got here. So much gravel's out of there versus the tiny bit that's left.
Yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
did.
sure this stuff will flush on its own anyway.
That explains why it took so long for it to.
Well, why the bag struggled and fought and just wasn't opening it, but was taking the water. And they had to sit there and push that all the way down the line. So I think that was at like 20-something feet. I have a feeling I went the correct way the first time.
There's a pile right there.
That's where I was pulling back to. Because the camera head kind of acts like a little dam. It goes over it and cascades and falls and it creates turbulence and that'll stir the stuff up right in front of the camera head. So having the camera head right behind it, a lot of times can get stuff moving that won't move on its own. Kind of see how it's right by it, tries to move, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Especially with this corner right here. I was hoping.
You may have to whack it a few times with a stick. That may not work either.
It's just I'm walking the outside corner. I don't know if I can really even hit it. That's where I was hoping the turbulence would be enough to stir it.
So weird.
This is probably the least weirdest thing we ever find.
Well, I'm sure you find all kinds of.
Oh yeah, dentures, tape measures, syringes, Barbie dolls, a bathtub full of Legos. That's still probably one of the strangest ones. Think about
Going around the corner now.
it.
It's over here.
The old guy who lived in an apartment decided he needed to wash all of his Legos, put them all in the bathtub. Well,
But if you watch, you can see it kind of stop.
Yeah.
I come forward. All of a sudden, it runs away from me. Just that difference in turbulence keeps stuff moving. Or flows around it.
it's an older apartment building that didn't have the actual catch
Yeah.
for the drain, it had the old rubber plug. Well, he pulled the rubber plug. We had to get half an ice cream pail full of Legos out of a trap and the pipe behind it.
You guys have more to do today yet?
Oh,
Don't say that, right?
whether it's this or something else, there's plenty to
It will not be
do.
a 22-hour day today, I guarantee that.
So we got plenty of other stuff we're working on.
Send people to Menards to get a portable toilet seat that goes on a 5-gallon pail.
In between the
Yes,
gaps in our
that's it.
schedules, we trying to work on buildings and lights and other stuff too, so even if we happen to be slightly slower, we get other stuff to work on.
You guys from the area?
Always fixing
Yeah.
tools.
This is the first house I've lived in since I was born. Like, yeah.
We bought the old Bill's Auto next to Nestle Pizza, Jack's Pizza 2 years ago. Slowly but surely updating everything.
Oh, okay, so I know that. I know that.
Are you the
Well,
owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just on the east side of Nestle there.
Yep, yep. Slowly but surely. Roofs, front ends, windows, it never ends. They knew it needed work, just,
We just wanna get rid of the windows, cause you get too many employees that like to lick them.
that's all that's available nowadays.
You ain't kidding. I know that. I'm a machinist here. Yeah.
Oh, where do you work at?
At Advanced Industrial
Okay.
in Greenville, right across from School Specialty.
Yeah. I used to work at Contracts Industries in Neenah.
Oh,
I did their shipping, receivings, and their in-house hoist repairs, and
yeah. All right.
Unless there's
Seen
one hiding in
vertical.
there. I think they all went. There's a couple of ones.
kill water.
I was trying to figure out where the little bits are coming from behind me. Should I go past them? Yeah, I must have. Leave it on for a minute, I think I shot past some of it. I must have made it past a few. You can see them right there. I must have, when I bounced it, must not have kept on forward, they must have went backwards. So I gotta leave it on and just keep
I see.
working them slowly. I'm not bouncing like that before I gotta pull back slower and go forward faster. Just to try to create that surge and hopefully they move. Just trying to get them out this last 3 inches is what's killing it. It just doesn't wanna fall around the corner.
So now when they put a sewer in like this, okay, so obviously you're in the pipe that they put out to the main one.
Generally,
Does it
sewer.
drop down then into the?
It
into the-
has some
into the
pitch, yes,
main?
but generally
Well,
the sewer
you can
pipe
see
and
it
water
right
is
here.
brought up.
You see it?
Okay,
And then I drop into the main. It's
because the green is theirs actually, the green one
As you
is.
can
It's
see
SDR
see
35,
the
it's a
bottom
different type of
yours
pipe.
is versus down here. It's about a 4 to 6 inch drop because we're going from a 4 to probably a 12. So we're coming in at mid-level,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
into a
yeah,
bigger pipe.
Yeah,
They don't come at like this too often in the newer ones. The older homes, you have risers and
They
stuff
put
because the
sewers
basements,
much deeper.
the sewers are much deeper. The basements, a lot of times you're whacking your head all the time.
because that's what,
These are
like I said.
7, 8 feet
How
at
many
least.
times I have a fear of water and sewer, and when I go somewhere, I shut my water off. If I leave the house for overnight, I shut my water off all the time. I just have a fear of something. All you need is a line to spring a leak or a wash machine hose to bust or whatever, and you got problems. And so I shut my water off, and
It's all little
I said when being on the end of the what you call it, I said I sure hope you got the shit running the right way.
That's not funny, we did one in Appleton, I won't say where because this is recording, but Appleton redid a side street about 300 feet away from this house, and that's where the sewer used to run. They did not know that. Now this is a 100-year-old building in the middle of Appleton, a house which used to be a butcher shop, which will pretty much eliminate any other questions of where it is, but this sewer was 11 foot deep leaving the house. The sewer in the street was at 10 feet. But
Shit
the
don't run
sewer on
uphill,
the
right?
side street was 14, 15 feet where it used to go. Well, these folks never had problems until springtime. We get called in, come to find out we have to jet
250 feet.
250 feet before it even started to drain. Well, at that point,
The sewer's only 50 foot long, by the way, you know, straight
Yeah,
out.
so- They had to get Appleton in there. Well, it doesn't go there, it goes here. No, it doesn't. That sewer you're looking at is coming up to the old combination drain tile for the gutters. No, it's not. Trust me, it is. You know, they had a company come in and dig it up, and we were wrong, you were right. We got, well, I guess that wasn't our sewer.
Yeah, they're never
I
gonna.
guess somebody messed up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Somebody else's fault.
I live on the other side of 55, just by the schools over there.
Yep.
And the guy across the street, they had built a new house. I was there, I've been there for 37 years. But they, so they built a house, and about 3 years later, all year round, you could hear septic run, or not a septic, his sump pump running and running and running, and all the time. Winter, summer, no rain. So they checked everything they could. Finally, they went up and they just looked by the walls, and they could hear the water running there. Where is that coming from? So what happened is he didn't have to pay, the city did, but when they put the city in, I live on a cul-de-sac, so his is the first house, and when they put it in, whoever put the copper pipe to because that's back when they used all copper or whatever, I think they made it to the house, but anyhow, they put it kinked and it cracked, and that water was going out there, not enough to cut his pressure down, but it was slowly leaking over years, and it was following the gravel
Just
in,
channeling, yeah.
and it was falling right in. So he just poured the driveway and everything about a year before that, because it was a new building, and all of a sudden they had to come and dig it off in the middle of winter.
Other than right at the curb stop, they shouldn't have had to dig the whole thing. They should have been able to run a slitter down it, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know.
Depending on how bad it was
I don't
kinked.
know what
That
they.
much.
If it was kinked
Yeah.
bad enough and where it was kinked would be the problem.
I think they did just because they didn't know what it was, so they dug the whole thing up, put a whole new piece in.
Who was
Well,
that?
The caves are Randy's house. Right
Really?
there. That's why if you look at his driveway, it's got a couple discolored chunks on it. Yeah, Bill, just about a year before, poured the concrete driveway, and it's a pretty big driveway too, and it was right in the sidewalk and right through his middle of his driveway where the water run.
My brother-in-law had an interesting one. At his house, he had underground gutters, and it goes straight out from the sump pump and the gutters to the back tap, the storm drain in the road. Okay, it's like 50 feet away. Sump pump runs, it's in the curb. Well, all of a sudden, it's just shooting out of the ground next to his house.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's not timed with your sump pump. That's coming from somewhere else. I end up digging down. Whoever came and put the new one in, just put some old chunks of 2x4 on top of the old one they cut off below it and stuck it over it, because the village had another one that went to the backyards and ran, and all the neighbors' houses that were higher than them were hooked up, but they had so many problems with it clogging, they abandoned it and ran their own. But whoever put it in never capped it. So it's just pushing out by his house,
And that's
right against the house.
Yeah.
So I ended up cutting it like 10 feet back and putting a cap in for him, but it's like, what?
I called Ned last night and said, what the hell's going on or whatever, and he says, oh, I called, and he says, oh, that's when he told me that, and he goes, yeah, he goes, they'll be able to see it with the camera, he goes, we had a guy that took something with his sump pump and he cut it off, and the landscaper buried it, and they didn't know where it was, and you guys come with the camera and said, okay, it's right here. That's all they knew where it
It was
was.
just glue. Thought I missed one for a second. I got to work out pretty much all of them. I didn't see any more, but that darn purple primer gets me.
Oh, I know.
So I gotta use clear
Same thing.
purple primer. Makes it hard to see. Alright, clear. Some states actually require purple. Has to be a different color to prove that it was actually primed.
Yeah,
Although we pretty much just used the Fusion all-in-one primer and glue.
yeah.
Gives you a little more time.
Gives you more time and
to,
less messing around.
So do you actually plumb too, or do you just clean drain?
we do drain and sewer cleaning and utility contracting, which that license we carry is everything from here out, with water line, sewer, storm sewer, installs, repairs.
It's all glue.
Yeah.
Yep. Just you catch one in the wrong angle,
Mhm.
looks like a piece of gravel or something. Just the way the lens kind of magnifies it. Got glue again?
Yeah.
See what I mean? I would have sworn that was a piece of gravel. I moved back and forth and realized it was almost flat. The water just magnifies it, the lens catches it wrong. It's so hard to see 3D on a 2D screen sometimes. Especially watching the video later, I can't make out what I was doing there because I just saw that and I went, okay, I'm gonna look back and forth and see the level. Well, I can't do that on a video later if I didn't do it. So trying to see something, even going back to our own videos, is a pain.
So it must go out, turn to the left,
It goes like under that pipe almost. It turns very quickly.
so it actually comes out over here. It goes out,
It goes out like right here.
okay.
It goes out right next to the water line basically.
But then it goes out to the road, but I thought I seen
There's another turnout.
There's another
There's a-
turn, yeah, there must be a turn out by the road before it hits the.
Yeah, it probably curves closer to the center of the lot or something. Because when they first put in the road, they don't usually know the plans and layouts of every lot.
Right here's
So
tracer
they'll
wire.
just kind of
The
throw it.
blue follows the water line, the green follows the sewer line. You put a transmitter on that and you can locate it with depth because that's supposed to be.
Oh, see, I learned something today, I didn't go home now, well, I'm not at work, damn.